I ain't finna be going Debo down there. I'm a buck 85. Like, Debo puts nothing but body on. He boxing out every time and shit. Like, no.
Boy had them mitts, boy. Don't let them hands get nowhere near.
He getting all the rebounds. Like, nah, man, I'm not finna go at him every time. When I go at him, that means I'm mad. Like, nah, I'm mad. I'm tired of him.
He playing straight with his elbow. Hey, G.
What was so different? I know it seemed like you moving around in 2 years.
We got traded for each other.
Yeah. You go to Memphis. And it clicked. Like I always liked Marc Gasol game. Like when I was there the year before you. I always liked Marc Gasol. I didn't believe in Conley until Lionel Hollins believed in Conley. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say I didn't believe in him. I knew he was nice and he could play. It's just I thought Kyle Lowry was better than him at the time. But once he got the opportunity to play, like he was way better than what I thought he was. Like way better. I was like, oh no, he supposed to be here. He plays D. He gets steals. So when you got to Memphis, like what clicked that y'all kind of clicked together and y'all started winning games? Because y'all didn't nobody think y'all gonna make the playoffs?
No, we almost, the first year I got there, it was like 40 games, I think, like 20-something more better games. So we was close to the 9th, 8th spot. I mean, for us, from a team going from 22, 20 wins, then 40-something wins. So that was big, man. I think, like you said, just, Mike is a special player, you know what I mean? Like you said, on both ends. And Mark, too, you know what I mean? Legitimately one of the best centers, in the last couple of years to be argued, that can be argued. So it was just like, I think just the right spots, the right players in each spot. And he had TA come in, you know what I mean? So it was just, I think everything just meshed together.
Like how y'all was just gritty and grimy. Like y'all was like the perfect player to bring in with how you, Mark, and Conley kind of unfolded.
The best part about y'all, I feel like, was the way y'all fit the DNA of the city. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all was all blue-collar dudes, work hard. Like, y'all fit the whole, like, that's why I feel like the city loved y'all the way y'all did. Like, you come there, it used to be rocky. Like, when y'all was at y'all prime with that thing, y'all had that thing cranking, and it was all about, grit and grind, the grind father, TA, and all that. And it was, you felt that, like, you know how it was when you played in certain arenas, y'all had built something that, like, when you came in there, you felt what y'all had going on. The city
guys,
with y'all.
Coaches, they used to tell me, the players, man, like, they didn't want to come and play. Like, they don't want to come here. They scared to come play in each other. Like, when you was coming to the forum, it was, got time up tight. Like, it's on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't going to be easy, so get your reps. And, we was ready, man.
Well, the year y'all went to the conference finals, didn't nobody have y'all going, y'all popping, first round pop, second round pop. To go that far, you know what I'm saying, you being one of the best players, like, what clicked that year? What clicked with y'all that it was just like, man, we got opportunity to go to the championship, and once you go to the championship, it's like rolling the dice.
Yeah, man, just everybody, I think like around that time too, Mike started to get his confidence, and, Mark, and, just everybody was just clicking. Everybody was good friends, we cared about each other. And, what I mean? Spent time with each other, the team did stuff together. We got along real well, and we pushed each other. And, man, our confidence was high, you know what I mean? And, I thought that was going to be the year, but, man, that was, the best experience for me, of my career, going there. And,
going to Memphis, it was like another home, especially I know you got, like, brothers that's like family members in Memphis, so I know that all kind of
like
came into it.
Yeah, got family in Memphis. And just, man, it was just, like you said, the team and just the city still, man, it's home, you know what I mean, for me, you know, always just the love and, you know what I mean, just everything, you know, just a fit. And,
yeah, I love the way you do, you know what I'm saying, you and Tia, I know y'all was heavily in the community there, how you did everything, paying for people's bills, power, like just giving back, doing drives and giving food at different holidays and stuff. Just talk about how that is. Like, I know you grew up similar to how we did, not having much, so, you know what I'm saying, talk about how that made you feel to be able to do that for Memphis, how they embrace you.
Man, just like you said, just, you know, being able to relate, you know, we can relate, you know what I mean, we can relate to these people, you know what I mean, to these folks. So, you know, just that and you know, being a blessing, you know, because you give a blessing, you receive a blessing, you know, that's how I feel. And, you know, just everything. I still give back. I still do my holiday. I still pay to do the light bills every year. So this thing gonna continue on. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
super,
you know what I mean?
I didn't know you still do.
Yeah. So you know, I'm still heavily in the community. So you know, that's how it's always gonna be, man.
Start cut bench. Ooh, Asher. Rasheed Wallace. Tim Duncan. Kevin Garnett.
You gotta start.
Who would you start? Who would you bench? And who would you cut off your team? Power forward. Rasheed Wallace, Kevin Garnett, and Tim Duncan.
Big bag.
I know you battle with all of them.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that he could say, but when he did his thing in the league, it wasn't that powder puff powerful. He was playing all grown men with a 7-footer sitting there next to him at the 5.
KG, man, he's so long. Man, she Duncan.
Yeah.
He's a grown man. Oh God, for real. Man, that's tough right there, man. I mean, it can go either way. I probably start. Probably Duncan, start Duncan. And she come off the bench.
Cut KG.
Yeah, I had to cut KG on this round.
Okay, I respect it.
I respect that.
Ticket on this one.
Hey, man, talk to me about your neck piece, man. I like your neck piece. What's it? You sound like a little, you got your entertainment?
Yeah, man, a little label, man. Endless entertainment, man. Yeah, endless, man. Ain't no trend to this end. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you in the music business?
Yeah, man.
Money bag, yo.
Yeah, money bag.
You the man behind the man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Real talk.
You know what I mean? It's been a blessing, man. You know, one of my best friends, you know, Marcus, you know, my business partner, he, you know what I mean, running it for me. And, you know, we just came together, you know, with Bag and, man, going for the city. And, you know, Bag, one of the best artists out there, you know, to me, you know what I mean? So,
definitely is.
In my opinion,
rock
you know,
with him.
So, we just push this thing, man. I want this thing, holler at old, man. I want to try to get some input, some insight, man. Try to make this thing like The Rock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you ever see yourself being owning a music label or being a music like
you bird?
Man, say with a new Cash Money, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, with Money Bag, yo, you leading the charge. You definitely got some stuff going. I love his ad lib.
Man, the kid is talented, man. Little brother talented, man, he's special, and you know, he just gotta keep pushing. Like I tell him, just be positive, just life, man. Just being a good person, you know, just living right, and you know what I mean, just doing right. So you know, that's what it's all about.
You know who told me that was your?
Wow.
He like, you know this Z-Boy. I was like, what you mean Z-Boy? He like, he got a new. I'm like, for real? He like, oh, okay.
Yeah, man. So you know, it's been a blessing,
So
man.
what you been in the music business, man, in the music business.
Yeah, you did.
And preferably into hip hop. Give me your top 5.
Man,
Let me hear your top 5 hip hop albums.
Man, I love hip hop, man.
All time though, like don't talk about like your favorite. You gotta go to be stranded on the island. What's the 5 CDs?
I grew up listening, man.
I grew up listening. I'm showing my age.
Yeah.
5 albums.
It was definitely, you know, all Money Bag for sure. You know, lock it in, but you know, everything. You know, listen to pop, man. You know, I grew up in the area listening to Sebo. You know what I mean, Snoop, you know what I mean, 3-6, everything, you know what I mean, that's my area, you know what I mean, MC Breed, you know what I mean?
Breed.
Yeah, Dog Pound, MCA, all that, you know what I mean?
So who would be your albums? Like if you spend it on the island, what would be the 5 albums that you'll need to listen to straight on this album?
Mixtapes, albums.
I know you listen. You know I know. I call you to be full of CDs.
You fresh off line.
Some of everything on that jump.
That boy back in that mix.
Real.
Bro, this quarterback is running niggas over.
All eyes on me.
All eyes on me. Too heartless, man. Right over Key Sweat. Merry go around. You know the old jams, you know? Calm you down, you know what I mean? Put a little smoothness in it, you know what I mean?
James vibe.
Yeah.
He coming in the locker room, he in the hot tub.
Your boy Big Jerome.
Big dog.
That's probably that Illmatic, that Nas, and that Jay-Z. The Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, that's fun. You purchased a team with Al Harrington.
Oh, yeah, and Jay.
And got an Australian team. Like that's big for us. Like for somebody to come around to be on the spot.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like,
love. Australia on my hit list.
Yeah, we rough around the edges, man. But we real, and we show people respect, and we get a person sorry for our back. So it's just been a blessing, and man, knowing people, developing relationships, man, and just being able to, like you said, step into something totally different. Even if I don't play again, I want to still do stuff, and life after basketball, and got a lot to give. You know what I mean?
A lot of knowledge to give.
You know
what I'm saying? Why we still seeking out?
And to the youngsters out there,
great
young player. I talked to a lot of the young players from all the every team I played on. The last 2 years, Memphis, and, the Kings. So just just being positive, teaching, everything shit we've been through.
Everything we've been through, the ups and downs, the rounds, the corners.
Man, definitely a dope example.
For sure.
And with the Australian team, with the Australia team, that's on my bucket list. So I gotta go out there and catch a game with you or something like that.
Come on down.
Come here,
I was
nigga.
telling Al the same thing. Like, hey man, y'all gotta bring me down, man. And let me see what's going on with that.
So man, I hear that you got a younger one that's out here tearing up the court.
Yeah, man. Shout out, man. My baby McKinley, man.
Baby girl.
Yeah, man.
How that feel, man? I seen like a little clip or something.
Last time I seen her, she was so small.
Kobe daughter in this Mamba Academy. I say, wait a minute, that's that, because they got the Zach, man. I say, yo.
Yeah, man. She doing good, man. She my baby, man, 14, and she played with mama team with his daughter. Kobe, he the coach. He out there, teaching them. He out there teaching them, man. And that's a blessing, to have one of the greatest of it all one to go. Be able to work with your daughter, and so it's all a blessing, and she loves it, man. She's a good kid, straight A student.
That's
awesome,
bro.
And she take care of business.
Fall in love with the game that you fell in love with. Yeah, that's all this that she
and
got the possibility
I'm even more hyped to hear she a straight A student. That's really good business right there.
When you see her at Canyon, so she hooping, and my baby.
When you came up
Fuck it.
and
I'm
you watched
not playing by the rules no
who
more.
was it that you was like patterning your game after? Like you was like, I seen
Karl Malone, C. Webb, like players like that. Duncan Dutchman, like Duncan, like post guys. Like I said, the game has changed now. It's different. From when we played.
You want to shoot threes, handle the ball like then you want to be a real powerful.
Get your ass on the block. You know what I mean?
show what you can do.
Yeah.
Coming up, when we was coming up, like, who did you sing? Like, of our age group, like AAU ball, who was them hitters that you seen? You was like, man, that boy, that could go.
Man, it was Carlos Hurt. Remember Carlos Hurt? From Houston. Carlos, serious.
Who was somebody you started, you was like, yo, this dude is a straight up walking bucket. Even I'm talking about like maybe being high school, college, or even in NBA, somebody who might have didn't get in the game and play a lot, but like, when you see somebody play, like he like for real, like we don't like he don't get in the game, but he be killing everybody. Like coach don't like him for whatever reason.
Patel Woods,
Q was like that.
Especially our younger years, we was in Portland, and he's playing in front of some dogs. And like I said, coach teachers play. He's gonna go with his vets, so. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we used to play one-on-one. Yeah, Patel was hard.
Patel get buckets, man. A lot of guys can get buckets, man. A lot of guys.
Do you remember Jerome Harper?
Yeah.
He was hard. He was nice. Jerome Harper was real nice.
My boy Jerome. What, he was South Carolina somewhere?
South Carolina.
I remember Jerome.
He was a little rough off the edge, but he was like us. He was one like when you was with the Sacramento Kings, like
great.
like man, seeing like all that young talent they had out there, and like man, how they was progressing, and you would be on the bench to give them jewels. Who was them, like a couple of them players that he was like, man, them young boys nice.
Man, all them young boys, man, my young boys, you know, I still talk to a lot of them. You know, I'm gonna go down there and catch them games and practice with them. You know what I mean? So, just great guys, man. They got a great, you know what they doing down there. They got a great young core. You know, Bagley, you know, Harry, you know, De'Aaron, you know what I mean? Them guys right
Fox
there.
boy.
Yeah. Gonna make some noise. Watch out for Sacramento, though. You know what I mean? You know, they got a good owner. You know, Lottie doing a great job. Just everything about the organization, man, is on the up and up.
You know, Paul Allen, rest in peace, Paul Allen. You know what I'm saying? He used to have these planes. You know, he was the richest owner, if not the richest owner.
Big boy.
And one of his planes used to have a dining room table, a bedroom, bathroom. It wasn't like the usual team planes that we ride.
Y'all ain't going in his bedroom, did you?
It was like a mansion. It was like a man. I think somebody went in his bathroom and took a shit in the bedroom.
Who in the bathroom? The man's bro. Plane.
And somebody went in the bathroom. Because if you go in the, at least if you go in the bathroom, if you go in the bathroom in the room, it's a smaller chance of it to linger through the rest of the plane.
They ain't want to let you.
I forgot who did it. I forgot who did it, but
It ain't
somebody
shitty,
did.
though.
But hey, me and Zebo. Hey, this is my partner in crime. Me and Zebo. We open the cab, because we in the living room. We open the cabinets up. We just see a bottle of, we don't even know what it is. It gotta be something that's because the bottle looks stupid.
If it was a crystal bottle where they didn't already pour whatever it is inside the crystal joint.
Me and Zebo killed it. The whole plane ride, we sipping it, and they wonder where we get where we get drink from. We killed Paul. I know they was looking for it like, man, can't let them take that plane no more.
Paul was a good guy, man. Good man.
Yeah, he was a real good man. Remember we went to his house though, man?
Ain't never been in nothing like it before.
Man, like the Secret Service everywhere. You couldn't even go outside of where you supposed to be at. Somebody pop up like, yeah, you need to go that way. People hopping out the bushes and all that stuff. Like, you need to go that way. Follow them. No, y'all stay in one group. No, one leave, all y'all leave.
No, sticking around.
That's crazy.
Looking around, no sir.
In our McDonald's game, 3-on-3, you had to pick. You only gotta be McDonald's game to be outside, like our class, that 2000 class. You gotta pick 2 other players to play with in your 3-on-3.
Damn, that accuracy sucks.
That you'll play with.
Let's go. We got it, baby.
Interneting room. Work from home. Interneting room. Open concept. Interneting room.
Probably
Ooh, that fat ass nigga.
Omar Cook.
Ooh, that was nice.
Omar. Who else? Probably Eddie.
Griffin.
Yeah.
Griffin was nice.
Eddie.
I like it.
We always nice. You know, we had Marcus Taylor. We had a squad. We had a class.
He cheated. He blocked me.
Like, where do you go? Michigan?
Andre Brad,
Michigan
Nick
State.
Brown,
Sleep.
Jared Jeffries, Earl Wallace, Mario Austin, Andre Brown. Like, Andre used to dunk on.
So before we wrap up and get you out of here, man,
Let that nigga out the
courtesy of our generous sponsors, Hennessy.
Yeah.
This is VSOP, very special though. You know, this is special.
Man, I appreciate that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to yeah. Appreciate that, bro.
You know
For sure.
what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, man. Thank you, gentlemen. Gratitude.
Yo, coming to you live and direct. We from New Orleans, y'all. We down here in the Bayou. The blackest one always with me to the right. We got special guests, man. We got Dame Dollar. It's game time. In the building, y'all. Check it out.
Toast. Sure. Dang dollar. Dang time. It's dang time right now, baby. First question we ask everybody who come on the show is when you first made it to the NBA, who was the first person to bust your ass?
First person to bust my ass.
Yeah.
You like preseason at Phoenix, Goran Dragic. He drugged me in that preseason, and it was like I was looking around for help, looking at the bench. Like it wasn't even ISOs. It was just like he was just crafty.
Playing
He
the
was
game.
pick and roll and like
He was
just
smart at the
manipulating
game,
everything.
dude.
He was just smart.
Yeah.
And I was like, coming into the game, I knew he was good, but I was like, I mean, this ain't Chris Paul or
This ain't the
Russ or
big
nothing
names.
like that. So I kind of was sleep on how good he was.
Yeah.
And he got the running up, coming off screen, snaking it, and
Was
doing
doing
all
a
that.
lefty hard, make it
That threw me off too.
Yeah.
Because he was a lefty. And I was just like, damn, he
Janky.
crafty, he shooting, he pulling up, getting fouled. And I was just like, damn. After the game, I was just like, it's gonna be a tough year. Like, 'cause I wasn't expecting it to go like that. I was like, I wasn't expecting it to go like that, but he got me for sure.
You chose to go to Notre Dame High School, same high school as Jason Kidd. You went there and then you transferred. What made you go there? The history of it?
Well, I went to a different high school, 9th grade, and then I went there because I was like, J Kidd went here. They known for having a good basketball program. There's gonna be a good education. So like my parents, everybody was in support of it. And I got there and it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. So I mean, my sophomore year, that was my sophomore year. I ain't really play at all.
Yeah.
Like I literally was.
So
when
you
I
on
say
varsity
riding the
not
bench,
playing?
I was on varsity and I was like literally not playing.
So you playing JV and just dressing for varsity?
I wasn't playing JV. I was
so they
just
just
on
had-
varsity. I just wasn't playing. Like 0
That's
minutes.
wild.
So you transferred to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
What school you transferred to?
Oakland High. I
Oakland
transferred to Oakland. So I left St. Joe's Notre Dame toward the end of my sophomore year. And I transferred back to Oakland with all my friends. So like, I was like, they ain't playing me. I don't really like private school like that anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a public school kid, so
Yeah.
it was already kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I convinced my parents to just let me go back to school with all my friends. And when I got there, it was like neighborhood. It was all I was back in my element. It really helped because all my friends had 4.0s.
Yeah.
So like, I'm thinking I'm finna come here and it's finna be fun and we gonna hoop, and they like, we about to do our homework, we going to study hall. So it really turned me up and made me eligible for clearinghouse when it was time to go to school. Because if it wasn't like that, I wouldn't have been cleared.
That's dope. You left a school that this is what they do to the school where they don't really even put many kids out. And
Yeah.
that's a dope.
Yeah, for real.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What was the difference, like junior, senior year, you playing at a new school?
I was in an environment that I was used to, like, not to be negative, but it was like a little more wild. It wasn't as controlled and do this, do that. It was just like, all right, make some mistakes, do some stuff wrong, it's cool. Like, so I was comfortable. I was with my friends, and I was just having fun.
You could be yourself.
Yeah, I could be myself and have fun. It was like, in private school, it's like, well, don't do this, and be quiet in the hallway. Don't, in class, if you don't raise your hand, step outside. It's like every little thing was an issue when it wasn't really a big deal. So once I got there, it was like fun again. Like it was commotion and chaos and like arguments and roast sessions and all type of stuff. So it was like, I'm back at home, so I was comfortable and happy, so it made a difference on the court.
For you in high school, at what point did it start clicking like that? So your sophomore year, you ain't play a lot. Then you get to your junior year. Was it your junior year where you started to like turn up and you started to feel like, all right, like I could see myself going somewhere? Or when did you start feeling like you could be good?
My junior year, I did like I said, I got there with all my friends. And my friends realized that I was better than them, so they kind of started gassing me up, like, no, you gotta have 30 on them. They can't stop. It was kind of like gassing me up like that, so I started believing it, like even more than I already did. So my junior year, I averaged like 20, and then the feeling I had from that, and like my friends, like just kind of pushing it and gassing it up like that, I was like, if they think this was something, wait till next year. So that whole summer, like AAU, I was killing. I was working out every day. Like, I had never trained like that. We didn't have trainers and all that. It was just like, go to the park, hoop outside at the school. When the rec opened up, open the rec till they closed, go home.
You didn't play for the Soldiers. Was that like a big deal going on? Because I know me and
Soldiers
Drew,
is like
Drew didn't talk about that. Drew said you still
Drew
trying
Pops
to them.
Drew Pops be with my dad.
Right.
So, like, the Soldiers was bringing in all the top players. I wasn't the top player. So, our program was the Oakland Rebels, and we had to sell magazines, seize candy.
I know what team you was. I was that team in my
all that stuff. So, like, and I had played with them since 6th grade. So we always had to, like, we literally was at BART stations and bus stations selling raffle tickets to people at shopping centers, like making.
This was part of the program.
So I learned how to, like, hustle and make money. So that turned into us, like, selling the raffle tickets for $2 instead of $1.
Yeah.
And now we making more money, and we going to school selling the candy and selling the magazines. And we basically earning our own way to these tournaments and hotel rooms and doing all this stuff. So, like, when we bussing all the way across Oakland and BART and all that stuff, and going to the movies together and going to little high school functions and stuff together, these are like my real friends now. Like, to this day, these are my friends. So once I got good enough to where the Soldiers was like, just come play a tournament, I was like, no. I just won't be playing in front of no coaches, like, because we don't really got no coaches at our games like that. You know, it might be one or two JUCOs and some low major schools, and I was like, if this the price of me, like, staying loyal to who I've been with, then I'm just not about to be going to Washington or whoever was the high school at that time. I just wasn't with it.
You chose Weber State. Was it anybody else that could have been close to getting you?
Weber State or St. Mary's College. It was close to home. It was like 45-minute drive from Oakland. They actually had a good program. Patty Mills was there. When I went on my official visit, and Patty Mills was the incoming freshman. And I was like, I ain't really want to leave home like that, like, because I had a bunch of cousins, all my friends was like local. So I was like hoping that St. Mary's was gonna be perfect when I got there, and I could just go there, and it was cool. They got a good program, and I had a good visit. So I went to Weber after that, and I had a great visit. And like, one of my, like, a big brother to me is an assistant coach for the Jazz right now, Johnny Bryant. He was he went to the University of Utah with Bogut, and he stayed in Utah. So he, like, had been living there and training there. And I talked on the phone with him. He was like, man, it'd be cool for you. It's a change of pace. It's different than home, but it's a good place for you to be able to focus on school and on hoop and try to get something done. And I took his word for it. So I was pretty much there with him that whole time.
Yeah.
And that made all the difference. I was like, I liked my visit. I liked the staff. It's a mid-major school, but it's a big campus. They play in the arena. They win conference. So I'm going to have a chance to get in the tournament, do something Cinderella or something.
Right.
Get a chance to get seen, go to the league. So all those things kind of played a factor, and I ended up at Weber.
You progressed every year, like your freshman year, your sophomore year, your junior year before you left. Like, what was clicking every year? It's like you was just soaking, just like high school, like NBA too. Like, you might be a late bloomer, people might not pay attention to you, but once you sink your foot into the game, you get it, and you be one of the top players. So what was in college that you was like stepping up every year, and it was just changing, it was getting better and better?
I mean, my freshman year, I came on campus, and I was just like,
it's mine.
I was like, this different. Even though it wasn't a major university, I was like, ain't nobody telling me, asking me where I'm at, what you doing, who you with, none of that. So, like, the freedom was the first thing. I was like, man, this cool.
Yeah. Everybody get to move around.
Go to class, like, I mean, you just basically on your own time. And I had never been on my own time. So, my freshman year, I got there, and it was like, I was just free. I was going to everything I could go to, parties, anything on campus, I was there. And we started the season, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I ended up coming off the bench like the first 5 games. So it took me a minute to like really just log in and get serious about it, because I was like, man, I can't come out here and just trick it off. So
got my people looking at me.
Yeah, like people gonna be asking me questions.
Yeah.
So season started, I was coming off the bench, and I remember we played in a tournament at UCLA, and it was just like we played against like Miami of Ohio or something like that. And I just couldn't do nothing. Like, I think I had like 2 points. And I was like, man, this ain't like North Carolina or nothing like that. I can't even, I got 2? Like, I had 2. So I was like, all right, my brother on my phone, like, bro, what you doing? Like, how you had 2? So after that, that was kind of when it changed. Everything changed. I started training with the guy that I train with now. He was on the staff at the time. And we was in there every morning before practice.
Who is fucking...
And after practice shooting, he was making me get in the cold tub. Started like getting on me about going to sleep instead of being out and running around.
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget, we played Long Beach State at home. And it was like another big game. And they had a dude on their team that was supposed to be like, scouts was coming to see him. He was a senior and all that. And my coach was like, you gonna take him tonight. Like before the game, he was like, you gonna guard him. And I just remember like being ready, like, oh, they got NBA people coming to see him, and he wasn't getting nothing. Like I was denying him, picking him up full court, blocking his shots. I was just on him. And then after that, that was when like the confidence kicked in. I was like, if they looking at him like that, then
maybe they can look at me.
It's on. So I was freshman of the year, I was first team, and then all the dudes that was on the team that year left. So I was coming back the next year basically with a whole new group.
But with your team?
Yeah, and then I was MVP as a sophomore, and then after that, that's when it was really over. I was like, all right, I got one more year in here, and I'm out.
And you're out.
So the following summer, my coaches have been like begging Adidas, like we trying to get him in Adidas Nations, like the camp that they do in the summer with NBA players come play, the best college players, the best high school. They was trying to get me in, and like a couple people dropped out. A couple people like just couldn't make it, and I got the last spot. So I went to Chicago, and that was the first time I played like
in a setting of that,
like NBA. Like I'm looking at 100+ NBA personnel, and I'm recognizing faces, and all the players that's there is like, it's like Drew Holiday, Eric Gordon, Joakim Noah, like it's like real players, Corey Brewer, D Rose, they all
the TV teams.
They all in and they like in camp with us, like hooping, going up and down. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be the real test right here.
Yeah.
So get out there, we start hooping, and I do something, I get my shot off, I hit a 3. I'm like, they gotta just be letting me do that. Ain't no way I could just get it off like that. So then the next time, like pick me up, I get around them, I'm coming down the lane, nobody come, I get a dunk. So then I'm like, these is NBA players. Like, it's real NBA players out here. So I'm like, while I'm playing, I'm tripping, like, I'm cool. I get me 2 more buckets, I might be able to leave.
Yeah.
So after that day, it was like, that broke me in. I was like, all right, I'm here. Like this shit is happening.
Yeah.
So I went back to school, and after playing against all those dudes, I was like, man, ain't nobody at the level I'm playing that got a chance. So I came back to my junior year, I was killing. I was like averaging like 28, and then I broke my foot.
Yeah.
So I missed the rest of my junior year, and basically set me all the way back.
Yeah.
So when I missed that year, I just trained the whole summer.
That's tough.
Because I was like on the draft board and everything after I left camp.
Yeah.
Like 2nd round pick. So my senior year, it was my 4th year, but I was a junior because I got the year back.
Yeah.
And I came back that year, and I was like, the summer, like when I was hurt, I was lifting, I was swimming, I was doing cardio, I was in the gym 3 times every day. It was the best thing that ever happened.
Yeah, got your body strong.
I got stronger, I was more athletic, I was faster, I was bigger.
Yeah.
Like I was appreciating the game more.
Hey, focus.
I came back my last year, I led the country in scoring. Went to the combine, I did it the first day. It was like a whole bunch of buzz around it.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: when you went to the combine coming out, did you have to participate, or did you just do interviews and measurements, or was they like? Because you led the country in scoring, so was they on you? I know I had to do everything. He just went there for the interview process.
See, that was the
child. He the golden child, just going there to talk to people. I'm sitting there, got to jump and dance and do hula hoops for people, and he just sitting there like,
I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, I met with such and such today.
Yeah, see, but you was like Conference USA.
Yeah.
And like I'm coming from a league even smaller.
Right.
So when I got there, I was like, I'm leaving my room, and the way they told me was like, man, you can take some slacks and get you a button up. When you go in these rooms and meet with these teams, you need to be dressed, professional, all that. And I'm looking at the other players, they coming out with sweats, tee, flip-flops.
Right.
So I'm like, we going about all this different.
Right.
So getting up in the morning, going to the bus sometimes to go to the gym. And some people just ain't going to the gym. They're like, yeah, I ain't going today. I ain't doing contact. So when I got there, the first day I was like, my agent was like, you know, just do this, do the shooting, do the vertical test, do the bench press, so you can show them you're athletic and you're strong and all that. And then like we'll talk after. So I got there, we did 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 1-on-1. We did shooting, the shuttle, we did the vert, we did the 3/4 court sprint, bench. I did everything. And then we did conditioning at the end where it was like 5 up and backs. I won all the sprints.
Bro, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
I won all the sprints. And then I remember after the first day, after that it was over. They was like, oh, he's going to be a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
Like I just remember I had never seen my name on Twitter ever.
Yeah.
And then after that first day, my name, like I typed my name in and it was just like non-stop. So I was like,
so did you have to do any more of that for the rest of the camp, or that was it? Did your agent say shut it down?
He was like, don't do nothing the next day. And I was like, okay. And I did. I went and did it again the next day. And he called me like, man, you crazy. And I was like, man, I ain't fly across the country from Oakland all the way to Chicago to just be here. Like,
you want to,
and I'm right here. They like, man, you gonna be a lottery pick. I'm like, you gotta realize where I've come from, to where I'm not about to take your word for that. Like, I gotta do it for me. Like they probably looking at like yesterday he had a good day. So in my mind, I'm like, today I'm gonna back it up again. And my second day was better than my first day. So I ended up getting picked 6.
Did you think you could be drafted by anybody? You thought you was going somewhere else besides Portland?
I didn't know where I was going. I'm telling you the whole time, I didn't believe nothing nobody was telling me. So like, my agents is like, man, this gonna happen here, or you can do this. And I'm like, hey. Like, I was like, man, I'm just trying to be in the top 30. If I get in the top 30, cool.
Guaranteed money, right?
Guaranteed.
So when you get picked by Portland at 6, how was that? Like, how you feel when you know you about to be going out to Portland?
I wasn't mad at it because the league I played in, the Big Sky, was like Montana State, Idaho State.
Rough, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Big Sky country, so we in the middle of nowhere playing. So the only city that we went to that I was like, look forward to was Portland State. We played Portland State, and it was like a normal city, restaurants and stores, just like it was more normal than everywhere else we went. So that was like where we looked forward to going to.
That was the biggest city.
That was the biggest city we went to. And my best friend was going to school in Portland, so it was
you
like
had it tough.
But that's
saying.
That's crazy. That's coincidence.
So when they drafted me, I was like, perfect.
Montana State.
Yeah, man. We was in like middle of nowhere playing. Northern Arizona.
What made you choose number 0?
I always wore number 1. And then when I got to the league, somebody, I forgot who it was on the roster, on the Blazers roster. But he wasn't
number 1.
They had number 1, but he was I think it was Craig Smith. But he was like, he wasn't gonna be on the team the next year. So they was like, if you want number 1, you can just pick a number to wear for the summer, and then when training camp come around, you can just switch to number 1. And I was like, I mean, it's a cool chance just coming to the league, fresh start, pick a new number. And I picked 0 for Oakland. Ogden, the city I went to school in Oregon. So I was like, I'm ready. That's why they call it the letter O.
That's dope. You get to Portland, and Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge is kind of picking up the torch and revamping the whole Portland Trailblazers. You know, they pushing for the playoffs and all that stuff, and B. Roy get hurt. And, you know, they looking for that next best thing. And you come right in and fit right in. Like your first year in Portland, like, how did you feel about it? Winning Rookie of the Year that year, it's like you kind of like, it kind of sunk in real quick.
When I got there, I was like, I'm going to come in and compete for a starting spot. Like, I ain't coming in here to be happy to be here. Like, we here now, so I'm trying to make my mark from the jump, right off the rip. So I got there, and I could tell by how training camp was going. I was doing all my reps. I was doing everything with LA, Wes, Nico, JJ. So, like,
You with the right group.
I was with the right group. So,
You
like,
shadow when he's going on there. You just start looking like, okay, I like that I'm hanging out with the right people.
I like,
stars.
yeah, I'm like, okay, they got me with the stars. Because I don't really know. I ain't coming into it feeling like I'm a high pick, so they going to put me with them. I'm coming in there from, like I said, from the background that I come from. Like, I got to come in here and come get it. So they put me in there, and I just remember my first year being just excited to be like, I'm playing with LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw him the ball every time, and when I'm open, I'm not going to miss.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. I was like, I'm going to make the right plays, and I'm just not going to back down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be here for whatever I got to be here for and try to win some games.
Yeah, speaking of LaMarcus, y'all click quick. Like y'all chemistry and everything. As him as a player, let's speak on LaMarcus. Because when I got there, he got drafted when I was there, and he had everything. He just didn't have the toughness. And then he got tough. He got stronger. He got, more competitive.
Yeah.
What did you see in LaMarcus when you got there?
See, I never knew them as not tough.
Yeah.
So, like, the Marcus you knew him as is different than what I did. Because when I got there, I was like, man, this motherfucker mean,
play
tough, like, he's strong. He don't take nothing from nobody. Like, he was the best player I had ever played with, like that, been up close to like that. Because I was like, he don't miss no fadeaways. Every pick and roll I come off when I pass on the ball, he make it every time. Like, he stripped every big man that's trying to do him. He stripped everything, got great hands. He ain't, like, running his mouth. I was just, like, excited to be the point guard that got to play with him. And I was like, if me and him going to play together, I'm going to keep getting better so I can match him. And we going to win it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
You and LaMarcus had so much success, and then he decided to leave.
Yeah.
Like, what was that moment in time for you? Because I know you looking at it like, hey, we just need a few more pieces and we good. You know what I'm saying? And then you look back at it now and just what he's going through in San Antonio, I feel like he never got what he really wanted out of San Antonio.
When I look back on it, I just be like, damn, because my whole thing was I was always trying to, like, just keep getting better, like I said, so I can just match him.
Yeah.
Because if me and him would have stayed teammates and I could get to the level that I'm at now, I'm like, okay, we could have for sure got one. And then maybe we don't lose Batum and we don't lose West and we got CJ, we had Will Barton, Alan Crabb. We had it. Yeah. We had it to do it. We just needed to just stay together. And in San Antonio, he's been to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And I've been to the Western Conference Finals, but we both came up short.
Sure. So
it's like, that just show you that, like, you need other guys. Like, you need somebody else that can carry it. Like, he could have carried us, the team that we had. And when it came down to it, like, if he wasn't having a night, they wasn't going to stop both of us on the same night or in the same series.
Yeah, I was killing.
Yeah, our very first playoff against Houston, in game one, he had like 46 and 18. And he fouled out.
Yeah, that series he was crazy.
He was killing.
Yeah.
46 and 18, and he fouled out of game one at Houston. And this is my first playoff game. And I ended up with like 30 and 7 and something. I finished the game off. So it's like, we could have had a lot of those situations where it's like, when you go down or when you step out, I'll take it over. Because, like, when you got that, that's what you see going on right now.
Yeah, it's hard. You were saying that you wanted to get to the level that he was. Now you got CJ. You got a chance to watch him get up to the level.
Yeah.
to compete with you and be out there where you can.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't depend on nobody else.
Right.
I got this one soldier that I know is gonna ride with me, just to see CJ's development of his game, because he got like a.
CJ,
what
nice.
game he got? He got one of them old school games that he one of them players that can do everything good.
Yeah,
like everything. He can do everything.
Yeah,
So
he's just nice. A lot of game.
So CJ getting better and watching him develop. What you think about where CJ is right now, and as he continues to get better?
I love where he is. I think, like you said.